What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. If you don't like it, you can have that seatbelt.
So the issue of these game key cards is, and I think will continue to be, the most controversial and the most divisive topic throughout the entire life of the Nintendo Switch 2. So when I made the video some time ago about the real reason for the Switch 2 game key cards, a lot of people thought I didn't know what I was talking about. But as we've seen today, at least based on the third-party games in Japan, almost all of the games, or every single third-party game, the Japanese supposed physical version of these games in Japan, outside of Cyberpunk, all use game key cards. They're all game key cards, every single one. Which proves what I was telling you guys before. This was a third-party driven initiative. This is what third parties wanted. This is what third parties wanted Nintendo to do. And the reason why this topic is so divisive is because technically, due to third parties really giving us no choice, both sides of the argument are technically right. If you think game key cards suck because it's not really a real physical version, you're right. If you like game key cards because you know that this is third-party driven and a lot of these games probably wouldn't even come to the Switch without it, you're also right. But it sucks. It's because these third parties did not, and they know this, they did not give us a real choice. Because I've seen a lot of people saying, oh man, I'm not buying any of these game key cards. Well, if you're not buying any of these game key cards and you don't buy games digitally, that means you're pretty much not going to buy any third-party games, most of them. Because I'm telling you, Cyberpunk being on the cart and all of that is outstanding, but that is not going to be the norm. It's not going to be the norm. So if you boycott all these game key card games, developers, they don't care. They're just going to, if you guys don't buy any game key card games and you don't buy the digital games on the shop or whatever, they're not going to magically, oh, well, maybe we should release these on these carts. No, they're not going to have any kind of physical, remotely even physical version. They're going to do digital everything. It kind of reminds me of when Splatoon first came out, and once we found out that there wasn't going to be any voice chat, there was all these people, oh, we got to boycott Splatoon for no voice chat. That'll show Nintendo. All that would have shown Nintendo is that y'all don't want any new IPs. And there would not have been, trust me, if you guys would have boycotted Splatoon over voice chat, there would be no Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 3. Guaranteed. But it sucks because it's like they literally gave us no real choice. Now, there was a rumor that Nintendo was only offering 2 different sizes, supposedly, of the Switch 2 carts. A really small size, which just sounds like it's 8 gigs, and a really big size, which is 64, or somewhat big size. And no middle. Like, with the Switch, there was the regular size cart, the most used size cart was the 16 gig cart, but apparently that's not available. But here's the crazy part. Even if 16 gig carts were available, the majority of these games, since they're so much larger than regular Switch games, have much bigger file sizes due to the higher quality assets. You got 4K, you got HDR now, you got all of this stuff. Even if they use these 16 gig cards, the whole game still wouldn't be on there. It would still only be partial, and probably not even the whole game playable without a significant patch. So that could be why they've actually just got rid of that altogether, and maybe really the 8 gig ones are pretty much kind of probably for design, maybe even for really smaller games or indie games or something like that. But it sucks because you want the whole game to be on the cart. But then also, since these games are now being designed for 4K televisions, you want the game to be as uncompressed as possible, and you want it to look as good as possible. Well, it's hard to do that with it being on a cart where the limit is 64 gigs. Now, Cyberpunk is on a 64 gig cart, and it looks great. But guess what? If it wasn't on a cart, if it wasn't combined to 64 gigs, it would probably look even better. Or actually, it would look even better. So that's why, even though Cyberpunk is fully playable and everything on the cart, I still expect there's probably going to be some really big patch down the line that makes the game look even better. And then, you know, but it just, I don't know. This situation just sucks because they're like literally putting us behind a wall here because they know, I'm sure they know that we don't like this. But also, if these flop, all they're going to think is that we're not interested in these games. Not because of them being on a game key card, but they just think that we're not interested in these games at all. Because look, a lot of these game key cards are games, and some of these are series that never hit the Switch, or some never hit a Nintendo system at all. So if these flop, they're going to be like, oh, well, they're not interested in this series, when in reality, we were interested in it. We just wanted the game on the freaking cart, or at least partially. So that's what sucks. That's what sucks about this. Like, there is no real right answer to this. And it's like developers and publishers, really, the publishers, third-party publishers have pretty much set this up to where it's like, okay, we want this to be digital, an all-digital future, and this is the way it's going to be. It sucks. It sucks. It does suck. The only silver lining is that you can trade and resell these game card keys just like you can a physical cart. But that's just as long as the game is able to be downloaded from servers. As soon as the servers are not active, then it's useless. Well, useless to re-download anyway. But yeah, I don't know. This is it's like for physical collectors, this is, and even for digital in a way, like this is like it's a win in terms of support and in terms of games being less compressed. But when it comes to years and years from now, when you might want to re-download these games to play them and you might not be able to, that sucks. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Are you planning on really boycotting all of these game card keys or game key cards? I mean, if they announce Grand Theft Auto 6 for the Switch 2, it's most definitely gonna be a game key card game. Are you gonna boycott that? Like, be realistic here. So I don't know. It sucks. But anyway, today is Switch 2 pre-order night for those of us in the US. So good luck to you all. And let me know what you guys think in the comments.